So I stream on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So if you can't meet me in the moment, you can practice later on, okay? So just giving you a variety of practices that we can do together, and yeah, just be together for a little bit of moment, right? So Sunday Soul Sessions is a continuing Sunday program that I'm offering from 5 to 5:30. Sometimes it's a little shorter, short meditative practices and talks. And it's just a nice way to maybe learn something you've never done before, integrate it into your everyday life. So a modern approach to an ancient practice, and just seeing how that can work into your life. I'd love to hear your feedback too. If you have anything that you'd like to share with maybe learning something and taking that into your life and how it's helped, awesome. And, just being open to trying something and giving it a try, right? And again, thank you, friends near and far, for joining me this evening. We'll give it another minute. Meditation seat. I always have a warm cup of tea, just very grounding. How's everybody doing? Riding those waves, right? Some days better than others, I'm sure. So, I'm feeling that. So comfortable seat, getting ready for a short practice. We'll have our eyes closed for most of it, so make sure the volume is okay and you can hear me all right. And if you're streaming on Instagram, this will be live in my story for the next 24 hours if you have to log off for any reason. And you can also tune back in and see this session in my YouTube library. Tons of videos on there right now, and also in my Facebook video library as well. So again, thank you all so much for joining me, and we'll get started. So making sure you're comfortable now. You don't have to sit like this. You can be in a chair. You can even roll up a blanket or a pillow and sit on folded legs, kind of raising the seat up that way. That's a nice way to do this too. So just checking in with what your body needs. Sometimes this is a nice position to be in rather than sitting in with the hips externally rotated, because this can aid in kind of alleviating, this position can alleviate low back pain usually. So if you're feeling like you have knee or hip pain sitting in the other way, try it this way, okay? So it can take a while to find a comfortable meditative seat. So giving yourself a break if you're not quite having found it yet. And again, if you need to sit up against the wall for this, definitely feel free to do that too. That gives us a lot of feedback, because the majority of our lungs are in our back body. So when we do have something against us, or if we're lying down on our back with our knees bent, you will get feedback, and you'll be able to access where the lungs are breathing and how they're breathing with that feedback in a platform. So don't be shy. Lean up against something if you're like, oh man, this stinks. Like, I don't want to just sit here for this long, right? Let's make this approachable and work for us. Another thing you can do is, if you're not comfortable, you're not going to go places. That's a very important thing to remember. My friend Dave Huffman has a little slogan, be still, go places. I love that. So anyway, you can place something underneath the knee or hip too. If you're feeling like you're doing this and really holding on, give yourself some room. Place 2 pillows maybe underneath the knees and rest the pelvic area, the pelvic bowl. We want to feel as though we're buoyant in that location, and we can drop down and let go into it, right? So we'll get started. Again, thank you so much for joining me. It really lights me up when I see you plop onto the screen and give me a little wave. I love it. I feel like even though we're through the screen, we're with one another. So take a moment and shift and rock, find ourselves, especially in a very unrooted time. Some yogis can refer to this as our root chakra crisis. So we're all feeling a little unplugged. So it's very important before we start to direct our breath that we feel ground. We feel the energy of ourselves sitting right now, and also the ground beneath us. So after we're rocking side to side, forward and back, know that you're already making the effort to sit and try something. So that's never wasted, right? Rock as much as you need. Once you feel like you can settle into that space, Okay, so resting the hands on the knees or thighs. For more grounding effect, you can turn the palms down. You can also take your thumbs, place them in the center of your palms, and wrap your fingers around your thumbs lightly and place the palms down. That's a nice technique to ground and calm. That can be done at any time as a standalone practice, and also when you're about to do a meditation. This will be a breath meditation called, we're going to be activating Langhana. There's Brahmana and Langhana in yoga, and in Langhana, a Langhana practice, this is about cooling and calming and lengthening our exhalations. So we'll work with this for a moment. Sitting tall in the spine, closing your eyes, choosing your seat, committing to being as still as possible for the next few little while that we're here. No matter what's going on in the external around you, with your eyes softly closed now, come into this internal landscape, your inner environment, gazing inward, watching the rise and fall of your breath here, just as it is. So note when you start to become involved in your breath and just begin to watch it. So notice when you start to force the breath at all, backing off lovingly and just witness this ebb and flow, the natural tide. Feel that natural tide flowing within you. Each breath different, none the same. Being curious about the breath for a few more moments. Note that even though we're choosing to be still right now, there's movement taking place within us. Life movement. And we can watch this life-giving force just as it is, moving through our container of our bodies. Keep the mind focused and aware of the breath within a particular location where your mind went to, and stay close to that. That could be the belly, the chest, the throat, the nose, wherever your awareness landed, stay close to the tide of the breath in that location, without the need to change the breath. Being with the breath just as it is, without the need to change it. Ultimately, being with this moment just as it is, without the need to change it. Resting in the presence of the breath. Gently now, on a scale of 1 to 10, we're only using about a 3 or 4 maximum. So that's soft, right? And as if you're using a straw, begin to sip a little bit longer of an inhalation consciously. In and up. And then smoothly allow the breath to exit out the nose. On exhale, smooth and controlled all the way to the finish. Follow your inhale from beginning to end, sipping the tide in and up. Smooth exhale out and down. And continue. So now we're beginning to elongate and deepen the breath just a bit. As you sip the inhalation, feeling a downward moving energy, your base widening and becoming more grounded as the lungs fill and lift. And as you exhale, feeling a gentle softening inward and up. As you breathe in, feeling a grounded presence, the base of support widens, The spine becomes spacious, tall, smooth and controlled. And as you exhale, we slowly let the breath out. Following with your awareness, your inhale from beginning to end. And following your exhale all the way out from beginning to end. Now, if you chose to lie on the floor for this or lean up against the wall, feel the back body breathing as well, the side body, the front body. Take in this three-dimensional form of your breath. Diaphragm moving downward as you lift the breath in and up. Base of support widens. And as you assist the exhalation, feel the diaphragm come back forward, sort of like a parachute shape resting in the cavity of the ribs. As you breathe in, it flattens gently and moves downward. And as you breathe out, it gently floats back upward, sort of how like a jellyfish moves. And continue. So now trying to equalize our breath. The inhale, the same length as the exhale. When we do this and try to practice the same length of inhale as the same length of our exhale, we're balancing. Creating a balancing effect. Now, if you're having trouble feeling this, place one hand to chest, one hand to belly. And even if you're not having trouble, it's kind of nice to just touch that essence of life even more. So as we breathe in, your bottom hand fills, diaphragm moves down, base of support widens, your top hand fills at the end of the inhale. Keep your top hand slightly inflated and begin your exhale. Your bottom hand will soften first, then your top hand. Filling bottom to top, diaphragm move downward, top hand lifts last. Keep your top hand slightly inflated, begin your exhalation. Try to equalize that tide. Let's take two more. This next one, gently count to yourself. If this is helpful to you, you can try it. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that one more time. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we begin to lengthen our exhalation, coming into Langhana practice. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Slowly let the exhale out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sip the inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continue. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And continue for a few more moments on your own. You can continue to count silently to yourself or feeling this more as a beat. Sometimes counting can make this very mechanical, So once you get used to this rhythm, your body and your mind, your essence is going to just attach to it, and it's going to become fluid. So after a while, maybe the counting isn't needed, and try that. Lengthening our exhalation. Smooth and controlled. Following the breath all the way out. Following the inhale all the way in. Let's take 2 more full cycles. Lengthening the exhalation. Last round. Relieving the breathing practice after the inhalation, the next inhalation. Just return back to your natural breath. Just like we did at the beginning, gazing inward, your internal landscape, noting any shifts, feeling and observing. Join the palms together in front of the heart, Anjali Mudra, bowing the head. May all beings know happiness. May all beings know safety. May all beings know health. And may all beings walk in ease along their path. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, and hope you enjoyed this practice. One thing I'd love to say about it that I don't believe I mentioned at the beginning is this can be an excellent standalone practice. Inhaling for 4, exhaling for 6. Really nice thing to do if you're not sleeping too well. So you can literally lay in bed, place one hand to belly, one hand to heart, and then you can breathe in for 4, out for 6. You may even enjoy lengthening out for 8, something longer once you get used to that. You can also bring it to 4 and 5. 6 seems like too much. So training to calm by lengthening the exhalation. When you do this, you're consciously working with your nervous system to calm and cool. So you can do this literally anywhere. Just know that when you lengthen your exhalation, you're dropping into that calming response. When the inhale and the exhale are equal, you're balancing, which is never a bad thing too, right? There's tons of other things we can do with our breath. This I find is the most potent and tangible when in any moment, and we just need a few cycles to really feel that presence of calm. So again, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon for another practice, and have a wonderful rest of your Sunday night.